Hello everybody, I'm Yu-Gi-Oh! Deckmaster. I'm gonna kind of skip past the boring intros and things like that. Flashy stuff never seemed to get me views. I'm gonna go back to basics, see if that works a little better. So, here we are, again, trying some more bullshit that'll probably not get no views, but if you do like, please comment below. It lets me know that it's worth doing, at least. Um, and I'll probably start doing them more. This is my Gouki beatdown deck. This deck has it's a casual slash maybe tier 3 deck, tier 205. You know, it ain't gonna compete against the really meta decks or the really back row heavy decks, but decks that it does go against, it just beats them down. This does one thing I'm going to straight up say: no extra linking, no FTK OTKs, and no Gumblar. This is straight up mostly summoning Gouki links and some nightmares to coincide with it, as well as his sold, and so forth and so on. This is a pure beat down rank kind of link, or not rank, link spammy deck. So if you like, comment below, and let's get started with the video, shall we? Yep. Alright, here's the deck in its entirety, so you know straight off the bat, all Goukis that I run in the main are Earth Warrior, different levels. They all have 0 defense, though, and each of them, if they're sent from the field to the grave once per turn, they can search a Gouki card besides a copy of themselves. For those that may not follow Gouki because of all the meta bullshit. Trust me, I get plenty of rage quits because of it. So, what I run: 3 Gouki Risk Scorpio. It can be normal summoned if all I control is Goukis or no monsters at all. I've tried cutting it down to 2, and you can do that if you want to, but I feel it kind of clogs. Like, you'll see it more for some reason at 2 than at 3, or at least that's the way it works for me. 3 Gouki Suprex, standard starter, gotta have it. You're gonna when you normal summon them, you can special summon a Gouki from hand. This is one of the ways to get Scorpio out of your hand. You want to thin them out of your deck as quick as possible. I'm going to show the Goukis first, then I'll go back and explain the extenders. 3 Gouki Twist Cobra. This Gouki has a quick effect during either player's turn. He can tribute a Gouki on the field, including himself, to boost another Gouki by that monster's attack until the end of the turn. This helps you get your big guy, your main focus, really strong Hulk smash! And he can tribute himself, which is kind of cool, and it is a quick effect, which allows you to kind of do some shenanigans on your opponent's turn a little bit, which is a lot of fun. Let me bypass this guy. I'll explain in a minute. 3 Gouki Headbed. This card is key. You can discard it with it in your hand. You can discard another Gouki monster from your hand. Target 1 Gouki on the field and special summon it in defense mode. If you do, the Gouki you targeted on the field gains 800 attack until the end of the turn. Yet another way to boost up your big guy. Like I said, it's beatdown, more power. You know, old school caveman punch. With effects. This card is essential to getting the combo to get your big guy out. And I want to make sure that either I draw him or I can search him. And 2 Gouki Octo Stretch. His effect is a hand trap. You can discard him to have the battle damage or card effect damage from one attack or card. In all honesty, you're very seldom going to use him for that. You just need him for a sold, and you know, if you open with one, you're going to have another in deck. That's why you run 2. And of course, you know, he searches. For the other monsters, I run 2 Goblinberg and 2 Marauding Captain. They are there for the same thing. I just didn't want to overdraw them when they're normal summon. They special summon a level 4 or lower monster from hand. You're going to summon your Goukis. Now, of course, this extender will not work with Scorpio, but it works with any other Gouki. And in your main opening hand, you want 1 Gouki, at least 1 Gouki, preferably besides Scorpio, but, you know, I mean, sometimes you can work it. And one of these or one of the next card. And that's all you need to go into your big guy. And then 2 Blue Mountain Butter Spy, which when you normal summon a warrior, it can special summon itself from hand in defense mode. But, well, actually it doesn't say defense mode, but you're going to go defense mode. And obviously, of course, hopefully y'all are watching the side here, left side. Of course, this will work with Scorpio if you have no cards on the field. Normal summon him, special summon this. That's an extender that will work with him, or any Gouki for that matter. For the spells, I run one instant fusion. I decided to run a minimum of cards, preferably one-ish to two-ish on cards that can only be done once per turn. And that way I don't clog with multiple once per turn effects. Excuse me, gassy. You're going to, of course, instant fusion out a warrior fusion. One reinforcement of the army. It's a warrior deck. Duh. Soul charge. Trust me, it's broken. Two Gouki rematch. This card can be searched by any Gouki monster when it's sent from the field to the grave. Target two Gouki monsters in your grave with different levels and special summon them in defense position. You can only use one per turn, but there's no restrictions. This is, of course, key to helping you link climb. One monster reborn, because resurrection's good. Three called by the grave, because hand traps are a bitch. You cannot run hand traps. Honestly put, I've tried them, and if you do, you brick with them because you don't get the extenders you need to go into the plays you need. And so stopping your opponent from being able to play them is ideal. Three Forbidden Lance. Your guy is really hard to get over, but spell and trap mass removal is a bitch. This protects him from that and basically turns him into a 3200 almost masterpiece, where he's unaffected by spell trap and monster effects. He can't pop a card, but he's kind of like a subpar masterpiece when this effect goes off. Then, of course, you got two Twin Twister, back row. Hornet drones. You're not running Kagari, but Hornet drones allows you, if you control no monsters in a main monster zone, you can special summon a warrior, dark, level 1, attack 0, defense 0 token. And if you have 3 or more spell or traps in the grave, its attack and defense become 1500 instead. That effect don't matter. It's a warrior extender. Don't work with Scorpio though, sadly, because if you normal summon Scorpio, you'll have a monster in the main monster zone, and if you play this, you'll have a non-Gouki on the field. So, but it works with every other Gouki. The only equipped spell I run, one Horn of the Unicorn. Some people run this Deep-Seated Sword or Divine Phoenix Blade. I'm not running that shit. You run Horn of the Unicorn. Why? Because it looks cool. Give your Gouki imagine them with the unicorn horn. I don't know. It can equip to any monster that gains 700 attack and defense. That part don't matter, usually. When this card is sent from the field to the grave, though, it returns to the top of the deck. Now, the combo is if you draw this card, it's not the end of the world. You're going to summon your two monsters, equip one with this card, link off, into a sold, usually. After you've activated the Gouki's effects and a sold search effect, it'll instantly, Horn will plop onto the top of your deck, where you'll mill the top card and summon Octo Stretch from your deck. And if you don't draw it, well, you just send it. Two magical midfield breakers, because once this card's activated, cards that target monsters or destroy monsters cannot be activated during main phase 1. This is a good opener. I tried 3. It's kind of bricky. I may try to fit a terraforming in there at some point and take out the third on my side, but I found 3 to be kind of bricky, so I'm trying 2 for now. And of course, 2 Phantom Knights Shade of Brigadine. Can be activated at the turn it's set, and it summons itself as a Dark Warrior, level 4 with 0 attack, 300 defense. It's just a warrior extender that works with any Gouki. We'll go to the side and explain it. I run 2 Godarlas. You can put any kaiju in here. It doesn't matter. But I just happen to have Godarla, so I went with it. This is just to take out threats that maybe are a little bigger than your guy. Not that they're too much of an inconvenience, but having it out is always nice. Or unaffected by bullshit cards, you know. 3 Dino Wrestler Prankatops, easily special summon turn 2 is when you want to put this in, same with Godarla, going second, in other words. And of course he can beat down or tribute pop. Another Twin Twister for those back row bitch decks. Mass Destruction heavy decks, 2 My Bodies as a shield. You can tack whatever you want into this, but I found this card can save you from like Regeki or Torrential Tribute. I know not a lot of decks use this, and that's why it's in the side. But when they do try to use this shit, that right there will stop them. Uh, Another magical midfield breaker. As I said, I may take this card out and put a terraforming somewhere in the main inside something else, but for now, this works. 3 Royal Decree, because trap heavy decks, if you can flip this up on like an Altergeist deck, you actually stand a chance at beating them, provided, you can kind of just get rid of the traps they have, get rid of what they have on the field. You play this, they are unable to kind of go off as easy. It's not the best. This is a, casual deck after all, but it helps against trap heavy decks a little bit. And 3 Rivalry of the Warlords. You can go pure warrior if needed. Some decks can't. Of course, you run the 1 fusion of Rojin to either book him in itself if you've already gone through the plays and got your guy out so you could keep him, or just simply put to use him as an extender. Now we'll start from the bottom first. For right now, I'm running 1 Link Karibo, because Octostretch is easily searchable. That might get replaced for either another of the next card, or if Jet Ogre comes out, which he's a Link 2 that requires Gokis, and if he's sent from the field to the grave, he boosts all Gokis by 500 attack for the turn, and that right there really would be better than Link Karibo, but for now, it's there as an option. 2, Gouki Shadow Ogre or Hill Ogre. Its effect does not matter. It's a stepping stool. You're going to go into it, search rematch, play rematch, summon 2 back, and go into your big guy. Or whatever. This is just a stepping stone to get there. That's the only reason why you run it, because all Gouki links require Gokis only. 1 Nightmare Cerberus to pop occasionally a special summon monster on your opponent's field. If Magical Midfield is out, this is the only card that would hinder with it. And you can co-link it pretty easily to get a draw. 2 Isoldes, because why not? I think once Summon Sorceress goes, this card will be fine. It requires 2 warriors to make, of course, and when it's summoned, you're going to search out a warrior from your deck. You can't use its effects or summon it this turn, and then you can send equip cards from your deck to the grave, Horn of the Unicorn, to special summon a monster whose level is equal, Octostretch. Now the combo with this deck is normally you need a warrior and a Gouki. We'll say Marauding Captain and Cobra, Twist Cobra. You'd normal summon Marauding, special summon Twist Cobra, link into Isolde. You would use Twist Cobra's effect first, Isolde's effect second. Isolde would resolve, searching Rescorpia. Doesn't matter. And Twist would resolve, searching Headbat. Then you would send to the grave Horn, summon Octostretch, discard Rescorpio to special summon Headbat, because you control a Gouki now, Octostretch. Link into Hill Ogre, rematch, and go into your big guy. Under Isolde in the middle main monster zone. That way, Chimera Tech, Mega Fleet, Vector Blast, and shit like that focus on the extra monster zones can't fuck you up. That shit is annoying. You're on 1 Nightmare Phoenix. Yet again, can co-link to draw. Pretty easy to do. And discard a card to destroy a spell or trap. The extra effects you get can't be destroyed by card effects. Cerberus gets killed too easily, and Phoenix, not being able to be destroyed by battle, can keep an extra monster out if the deck has hard ways of getting things off the field outside of battle. I run 1 Nigirsu, the World Chalice Warrior. This will be replaced with something down the line, but it is an out 2 things. I can go 2 links pretty easily with rematch. 2 link 2s, go into this, send any card to send a card my opponent controls, because he can send a card from my side of the field to the grave to send a card from the opponent's. Does not target, does not destroy, it's removal. 1 Gouki, the Great Ogre. This guy is really good if your opponent focuses on a lot of main deck monsters with defense. It decreases the attack of all monsters on the field by their defense points. Goukis have no defense, and Links have no defense. So, if they have a whole bunch of monsters, you can really weaken them down and do some serious damage. This can actually help you OTK, because you'll weaken them so much sometimes. 1 Nightmare Griffin. Nightmare Griffin, of course, you can co-link him to draw a card, but when he's summoned, you discard a card to add or set a spell or trap from the grave. This is a way to get your rematch or whatever you want back. Um, but you can't use it that turn. And while he's linked, or in this case co-linked for us, all monsters that are not linked, meaning a link monster pointing to them, or if they are a link monster, them pointing to something else, those special summon monsters cannot use their effects. So if an opponent requires a lot of setup, I summon this to special summon this, and this will let me do this to do that, well, guess what? You can't activate those effects unless they're linked. It sometimes can put a stopper right in shit. Then one Gouki the Master Ogre. He is, of course, a Link 4. Pure Goukis, but he can attack all monsters your opponent controls. I'm only reading the effects I actually use, by the way. They do have other effects in Great Ogre. He can attack all monsters your opponent controls, each once, starting with the strongest one. So you'll attack the strongest one, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one, until they're all gone. This will clear the field, allowing you to attack directly with the big guy. We'll skip him for right now and go to Borolo Dragon. We all know what he does. Can attack and still a monster and decrease a monster by 500 permanently. Obviously, if you can go into Link 4s, why not go into him? Now for the big guy. This guy actually came out in the set before Savage Strike, I think Cybernetic Revolution, or whatever it's called. Okay, so he requires 3+ Goukis. Like I said, you're going to go Hill Ogre, and then rematch 2 more Goukis out and go into him. He cannot be destroyed by battle, is unaffected by the activated effects of your opponent's monsters with attack less than or equal to this card's attack. If you boost him up, he becomes unaffected by more. So pretty much in most cases, if they're not 3,000 or higher, depending on what his attack is, they can't activate their monster effects. Well, they can activate them, but he's unaffected by them. So that's nice. You can't do anything. I'm unaffected, which pretty much means he's unaffected by hand traps, because most of them have 0 attack, or really weak. He also has the ability, when the opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card or a monster it points to, quick effect, you can make this card lose exactly 500 attack to negate that effect. Doesn't destroy, and the attack decrease is permanent, but he does have a little protection and can protect his fellow allies, which is pretty cool. And then another quick effect, if his attack is different than his original, either higher or lower, doesn't matter, you can boost him by 1,000 till the end of the turn, once per turn. And that allows him to get really big. So say I use Forbidden Lance, he drops to 22, I boost him to 32. Now he's unaffected by spell, traps, and monster effects that are 32 or less. He is a beast, and Twist Cobra can boost him up really high, Headbat, and so forth. And I'll go ahead and put some duels up right alongside this, and I hope you like. If so, please comment below, and thank you for watching.